This is the video for the linear programming game. Here in the blue box it says, maximize the income given the price, requirements, and limits. And down here we see the row of prices. Below that we see the matrix of requirements. And here we see the limits of on hand. There are 6 items to make and 6 parts to use to make them. The first item uses 515830 of the parts. Well, down here we see the requirements. Here are the items, are the columns, and the rows are the parts. And we see those values under item 1, 515830. Enter the amount of each item you want to make in the orange boxes in the line called quantity. Well, here we see the line called quantity and the orange boxes where you enter the amounts. Click on the value in the orange box to make it active. Then you can enter the value in the box. Well, I'm going to go to this first box and I'm going to put a 12 in there. Alright, entered the 12 and everything seems fine. If you exceed the limit for one of the parts, red boxes will appear for the income and the part. Well, 12 was alright because I didn't exceed any of the on-hand quantities. But if I would change this now to 13, now it marked in red the income and the particular part that exceeded the on-hand limit. If I change it back to 12, it'll be all right again. So you're trying to maximize this income here while following the rules on the requirements. There are 100 different games. Now I'm going to click Next. Unlike integer programming, linear programming values can have decimal places. Alpha notation is being used. And here's the green box where you can go and see what alpha notation means. You can change the game by changing the value in the orange box marked game number. The item prices will change. Alright, down here we see the game number box. This can go from 0 to 99. And for each game down here, these prices will change. And when they change, then the answer is going to change. Click on the Click for Program Solution for the simplex method solution of the linear programming problem. Well, here is the box Click for Program Solution. I'll click on it. Now we have under the quantity what the simplex method of linear programming says the answer is. Here are the quantities it gives. As the problem is solved, the tableaus are saved. Click to view tableaus to see them. Well, here's the box, click to view tableaus, so we'll click to see them. Here they are. Well, some of them. Enter the tableau's number in the orange box, mark Show Tableau Number. If it's too high, it goes to the highest number. Well, here we see it says Show Tableau Number, and it already put a 1 there. So down here we see Tableau 1, and we also see the previous one. It says the tableau's income, selected column, and selected row will be shown. It will also show the previous tableau. So here's the previous one, Tableau 0, and here's the Tableau 1. And here we see it says the income at that point is 1625, and column 6, row 2 was selected. We click Next again. The last row is for the margin values, which are used to select the next item. Notice here it said column 6, row 2. Well, it picked column 6 because it had the highest margin value of 130. There is a slack item, that's column, for each one of the parts. The last column is for the quantities. Well, the first 6 here are for the items, and here's the slack ones, the second 6 from 7 to 12. And here are the quantities. Remember, each one had an on-hand quantity of 100. In order to reduce the space needed to show a value, the alpha notation for powers of 10 is used. And it says, click on the green alpha notation box for information about alpha notation. But to do that, we have to return from the tableaus. Here we see the green box. Click here for alpha notation powers of 10. Here it says letters of the alphabet are used to represent the powers of 10. And it gives examples. 1, 2, 3, 4 with a lowercase c is its notation for 1.234. The C means 3 decimal places. Below that, the B means 2 decimal places, so it would be 2.34. The A, 1 decimal place, and no decimal places, there's no letter. If it's a capital C, it means there's 3 more zeros in the number. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is really 1,234,000 if it's followed by a capital C. And the same thing with a B, there's 2 extra zeros, and an A, there's 1 more zero. And again, if there's no letter of the alphabet, no alpha notation, it is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Lowercase letters, minus powers of 10. Uppercase letters, plus powers of 10. And over here, goes from the -1 for an A to -26 for a Z. And a capital A, 1, to a capital Z, 26. We'll click on return. Also it says the result values are rounded and very small values are set to 0. That's especially true in these tableaus. I'll go click on view the tableaus again. You see there's a limited amount of space here in which to show the tableaus, and it's nice to have them in nice even columns. Well, sometimes a value is like to the -20th power. It does not then show the alpha notation. It changes the value to 0. Okay, I'll return again. Alright, this is the information about the game called Linear. Now we'll go look at the program for Linear. We click on Program. Here on the left is the main program for Linear, which in fact is linear programming, and that's what it has over here for its name. And it shows that it has 2 subprograms, one called Your Answer and the other one called the Program Solution. At the top here, in these blue boxes, we have execute the application, which means we'd go back to where we were, save the application, create a new application, create a new subprogram. It can have up to 9 subprograms. The rest of these blue boxes are for copying instructions, these are instructions over here, from one part of the program to another part, or to a different program, or even to a different application. On the bottom here are brown boxes. They're tools to use in programming. You can list the values, the text, give them names, give the programs names, give variables names, make comments. These are all the tools you can use while making programs. Below that, it has a list of YouTube videos about creating an app all the way to building an HTML file for the app. Below that, it has an application that shows the use of all the actions in this P code. This first column over here is the name of actions. This will give you examples of those actions. Below that, there's a list of the HTML5 P code YouTube videos, all about instructions and the values and the text and green lines, which is copying text, all the way to the end. Alright, now we're going to go back here and click on Execute the Application. At the bottom of the screen here, it says you can start an app, letter A through letter T. If you would have changed the programs that we just looked at, you could save them to one of these letters. And then when you wanted to run your version of the program, you would come down here and click on the letter in which you saved it at, and it'll run your version of this program. Then below that, there's a list of HTML5 P code apps, like the linear game. And down here, they're all listed. Alright, this is the end of the video for the linear game.